What just happened, you may be wondering? Well, this is the story of what killed 81 men and boys. This is the story behind the tears of Illawarra wives and children. This is the story of the second largest Australian mining disaster. This is the story of the Bulli mine disaster. In 1817, Bulli was a quiet land of cattle grazing until the 1850s, when it echoed with the clamour of change. Captain Westmacott sought to transform Bulli into a coal hub, facing opposition from powerful agricultural companies. Against the odds, Captain Westmacott was granted approval by the Crown Law. However, his ambitious scheme was never fully realised. However, 9 years later, the echoes of Bulli's potential resounded again. In 1860, the Bellambi and Bulli Coal Company took up the mantle, planning to tunnel into a coal seam 100 metres above sea level. Armed with a budget of $9 million, they turned plans into reality. And in 1861, a tunnel delved into the coal seam, and 2 years later, the mine opened its gates. A railway connected the mine to the coast, and in the same year, a ship departed carrying an impressive 750 tonnes of Bulli coal, marking the beginning of a new chapter in Bulli's history. The 1800s was the peak of the first industrial revolution, and with it came steam engines, machinery, and smelting, all of which used a lot of coal. This demand allowed coal mining to be very profitable, meaning that the Bulli pit was essential to the Illawarra, as it provided a source of employment and economic stability. The Bulli pit stood as a cornerstone in our small town during the Industrial Revolution, fueling the demand for coal that powered the machinery and engines of the era. As the gears of the mine turned, those who struggled in the caves were faced with many challenges. Miners had to navigate themselves through the dark, low-light confined spaces. It was hard to maintain proper ventilation while pickaxes and heavy machinery were hitting rocks. The atmosphere within the mine was thick with dust, humidity, and the strain of physical exertion. Although going through these conditions, each swing of the men's pickaxes showed their dedication to their town. Safety measures were put in place to provide security to the miners. Timber and wooden supports were common to prevent the collapse of mines. Ventilation systems were put in place to avoid dangerous gases and give fresh air to miners. Although many hazard control programs were made, it was not all perfect. Explosive regulations and protocols were nowhere near as stringent as they should have been. Communication systems were there but worked terribly. Radio usage did exist, but people more relied on bells and device signalisation. Safety lamps provide illumination without the ignition of flammable gases, but would have low illumination due to the mesh and screens around it. Miners would often break their screens so they can see better, unknowingly putting them more at risk. In early March 1887, the signs of danger began to unfold in Bulli, a town marked by its gassy mine, notorious for its methane production, relied on a detailed underground ventilation system to disperse the potentially lethal gas. However, the delicate balance was disrupted when a crucial door, designed to remain open in a specific section of the mine, was mysteriously closed, hindering the proper venting of the accumulating methane. As the miners delved deeper into a maze of tunnels unaware of the closed ventilation door, the concentration of methane gas reached a critical point. The atmosphere became increasingly volatile, setting the stage for disaster. In its dimly lit passages, miners continued their work, unaware of the looming danger. Suddenly, a spark from one of the now exposed safety lamps ignited the accumulated methane, triggering a massive explosion that reverberated through the mine. The force of the blast was devastating, collapsing tunnels and unfortunately ending the lives of 81 men and boys. As the Town and Country Journal reported, the dead bodies being brought out of the scene is absolutely indescribable. The remains are in some cases burned to a cinder, the heads are smashed in, and the arms and legs are broken. And fearful gashes appear on the bodies. The clothes in many cases are burnt to ashes. The hair is singed from the heads and faces, and the flesh roasted and shriveled on cooked, stiffened limbs. Identification is almost impossible, though it is attempted by examining the clothes of those brought to the mouth of the mine. The echoes of Bulli mine disaster continue to resonate through time, reminding us of the fragility of life in the pursuit of progress. As we reflect on the events that unfolded in the dark depths of the mine, we honour the memory of the 81 men and boys whose lives were tragically cut short. Their sacrifice became a catalyst for change, propelling advancements in mining safety and worker protections that endure to this day. The Bulli mine disaster, once a chapter shrouded in sorrow, now stands as a testament to the resilience of a community that faced adversity with strength and solidarity.